go. Here we go.
I hate Jalen, yes I do.
Unnecessary. But pointed.
I hate Jalen, how about you?
Don't encourage it.
Hate is such a strong.
Hello,
really is, yeah.
everybody. Starting off with the hate, Jordan Coleman. Let's just take it back. This is episode 156. Welcome back to the CorridorCast. Who knows how much longer it'll be called that, but I hope you're having a great day. I've got Jordan Allen, Jordan Coleman. Which one is really named Jordan?
That's
and of course, the wonderful, the enigmatic. Is that
Matt.
the right word?
Or
Nick Laurent.
Enigmatic.
The enigmatic.
is it Matt
What
or
does
Nick?
enigmatic mean?
I don't even know.
It depends on the
what my name
day.
is. Yeah, it depends on the day.
Enigmatic. It means difficult to interpret or understand. Oh, well, maybe we can come up with a better word for you.
No,
I've
that
been
makes
called
sense.
mysterious before.
That makes sense because everyone does think you're Matt. So
How common knowledge is that? Have we talked about it on the podcast at all?
No, but I love how you're shifting now away from the whole beans debate because I was about to bring that up.
No,
But,
man.
let's talk about it.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about
let's
names.
just shift away from the beans
Talk
debate
about
for a
identity
second.
in Corridor,
the
okay?
hell is a bean?
On-screen
Jake.
identity.
Jake, are you aware of
seriously.
this situation that's arising?
Uh-oh.
It's
What
it's
happened?
a problem.
the first time that it happened, I was driving us to go to Vicky's Quesadillas.
Mhm.
Matt saw a pair of my heels in my Jeep.
Yeah.
He put
Mhm.
on the heels.
As you do.
does, yeah.
As one does. It made it
As
into
Matt
a crew
does.
cuts, and someone commented, "Cute heels, Nick."
Mm.
A couple people, I think, mentioned
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the only comment in the list of comments that called Matt Nick, and then
Yeah.
we started getting
Mm.
Nick being called Matt
Mm.
in some circumstances, and there seems to be a lot of confusion around who's who.
that. Well, it's very
So-
confusing to me too because I've never been, on camera wearing high heels before on the channel.
Never been on camera.
Right.
that's
Well,
the
I mean,
As you
underlying.
do.
Sure.
what I was saying is,
Yeah, yeah.
I've never been, seen on camera with
Yeah.
high heels.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
It's an important distinction.
Yeah, yeah.
Recorded on
Yeah.
camera.
When you
Neither
go
have I.
home, completely different
heels,
story.
They're tall. Let me tell you.
Huge.
Yeah, it's bad.
Right. 6 inch,
So I was
like
kinda
6
confused
inch
by that. I'm like,
stilettos.
okay, some wires, some things made people think that was me for a second, but
Yeah.
why is that? Like, that's
It's
why
a good
I'm
question.
very curious.
Well, you are quite similar in terms
Well,
of
Hairiness.
are we?
hair
Are we?
hair
Hairiness.
quantity.
Yes.
I feel like there's a bit of a distinction, but
There is.
Not in hair.
Well, you both have you're both about the same height, are you? Roughly?
we're
Nick-
close.
Nick's taller.
you both
though.
have
a little-
curly black
Yep.
hair.
Ish.
Ish. Yours is ish. Yeah.
Yours is
You both
ish.
have beards,
hmm
and yeah.
And
I
they
think
both
that's-
You're very
Edit.
hairy.
We both edit.
yeah
We both have probably taken photos doing this before.
yeah
Oh, you guys both drink
Yes.
LaCroix?
Yeah. Oh, we drink LaCroix. We are LaCroix boys.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, Scorpion
everybody
Boys.
does that. Though.
Country-
We
Punch?
we're scorpions as well. So
That's right.
that's
You're
a
dual
deep-
scorpions.
We are.
What does that
punch for
mean?
punch.
Well,
It
they
means
yeah. Go ahead. No,
Oh
please.
no!
yeah,
we
that's
both wear
right.
easy rigs and goof off on set is
Yeah,
what
like
it
this.
means. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
I
lot of
remember
footage
the
of you two
Scorpion
in
Boys.
easy rigs together,
Yeah.
and the lower thirds come up at the same time.
It's
It's
It's a how do you
understandable
know?
that
That's very
people don't
understandable.
know
It's too quick.
yeah. No,
which
I mean,
scorpion's which.
I think maybe it's time for me to distinguish my look a little bit more because I don't want to blame
Yeah.
the audience for this. Like,
Mhm.
look, if people aren't able to distinguish, is it Matt wearing high heels? Is it Nick wearing high heels?
Yeah.
It's on me.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, shave it all off,
Get rid of it.
every single thing.
Get rid of it.
Oh, you guys are both hairy. Put a stop to that whole
Blank
thing
canvas, wax.
Well,
and just see how it goes for a week.
I like it, man.
I can get you 65% off of laser hair removal. But we
She
talk
can.
about that.
She can.
Wow.
She's been
The hookups.
advertising that on her Instagram.
And that's like
I
basically
don't know if
permanent,
you've
right?
seen.
Basically.
Okay.
Unless
can-
you were to get pregnant, then you would get your hair. The hair comes back when
Thank
you
you
get
for
become
letting
pregnant.
me know that. Okay.
So
I can get you
I don't know if
100%
you
off
were
waxing
trying.
if you let me do it, because I'll pay for it.
Caroline,
Wow.
There you go.
Take
Thank you.
that. Take
Look at
that
that.
offer.
I'll just.
Man,
I thought. See, Nick, I thought you were making your distinction known through your mustache.
I was trying, but apparently it's just fallen on blind eyes.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
all eyes go to the heels apparently, and then who
Yep.
knows
Should
where
we
the brain
see
goes.
who walks better in heels? Maybe
That's
this
an
needs to be a
interesting-
video.
Look,
Maybe this needs to.
idea.
We've been talking about making a Crew Cuts video kind of about this topic. Let us know if that's something you want to see. I think,
Yeah.
trying to
Heels-
find
Vetting it
one's
out.
identity in a studio full of filmmakers when one is a filmmaker. How do you do that?
And
how do you,
yeah.
and we all have beards. And a lot of us are white cis males.
Yep.
And a lot of us are, kind of similar personalities in a way. So I can see it. I can see it.
I feel like that's
How
probably
does-
the origin of why Jordan and I get confused as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
You
I
guys
think
are so
so.
similar.
Yeah,
I confuse you myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 So it's, we're all kind of in a similar boat there.
I think
Right.
one way to do that, like to solve that issue, would be just a simple nickname. Something like Beans, maybe.
Yeah,
Right.
Beans is an interesting one because I don't think either of us are really into it.
Hmm.
No, who came up with that?
That was Griffin, 100%, because he wanted Knife as a nickname.
Yeah, this whole thing is just because of Griffin. Like he had a little bit of an ego about him. He really wanted something. He never even got his own nickname.
I
He
feel
just-
like Beans is probably more appropriate
Right.
for him
for him, right?
as the originator, but I don't
I
feel like
think you
people
guys
are
are
going to go for
deflecting
that.
pretty
I
hard.
think
right now.
maybe we
think
should
you-
just
you
give
should
it to
just
him. I think he's the one
decide
that really
amongst yourselves
wants
which
an
ones you wanna call
identity.
Beans.
Jordan Allen, I mean, listen, I don't know how much the podcast audience knows about the LaCroix revolution, but
I don't think
when that went down, you became Beans again in my
Oh
eyes.
yeah, I forgot about
No,
that.
but that's
Yeah,
okay.
you are
So here's the
Beans.
thing: for those of you who don't know, when I first
Oh.
got here, Jordan and we needed to settle it once and for all because people were just throwing Jordan around and we were both getting confused. And wasn't my decision. A smash game ensued
Pretty sure it
to
was
decide who
literally
was going to
your
be Jordan,
decision.
Fair
and I
fight.
won.
Fair
And
fight.
Jake, I feel like being a lawyer,
Yeah.
you respect the law.
Well, yes, we respect the law, but we also believe in due process and a fair trial. And I'll be honest, I don't think that was really a fair trial.
Trial by combat. It's not fair.
Well, listen, I mean, how long have you been playing Smash before that?
I don't see how that's relevant.
It's
Plead the fifth?
incredibly relevant.
Yeah. How often do I play?
Yeah. How often does Coleman play?
Is that on me? I mean, could you go into a court and like there's a really established lawyer and someone who's just cutting their teeth and they get destroyed and you're like, well, I just started.
No, you
know
wouldn't
what I
talk
mean?
about you wouldn't talk about the performance of the lawyer. You would talk about whether or not the person has a criminal history. That would certainly come into play,
And you
especially
have a
depending on
history.
the type of crime.
I have a history.
Yeah. Of playing Smash
if you-
and getting
Yeah,
fridges.
and you have a history of playing Smash, and therefore would probably be judged more critically. And given that there was no handicap given to Coleman, and she was just expected to just be tossed into the trial by
Into the
combat.
fire,
Into
yeah.
the fire. I could have gotten an extra star.
Into the boiling
I-
bean
I-
pan.
It's my legal opinion that was not a
fair trial.
fair trial.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the issue that I have with this judgment that's coming down is, we consume a lot of LaCroix in the studio. Some would say too
Right.
much.
Yeah,
Some would say too much. And those two are actually here right now.
Some would say not
Jake
enough.
and Jordan. Yeah.
Yes.
And so what they did was they cut off the LaCroix supply to all of us who
Yes.
are just working so hard to make our
Just
dreams
trying to
reality
make
here
a
at
couple
Corridor.
cans
They-
a day,
Just the cold corporate they.
And instituted, what was it, J&J's refreshments where you have to buy LaCroix at a 300% markup.
I'll
Just
say
dollar
this.
signs in their
We
eyes.
weren't even
Yes.
able to
Let's
institute
go.
shit because y'all came in behind everyone's
Yeah.
Yeah,
backs
yeah, we did.
and
Yeah,
instituted
Let's
some
let's just back it up. Let's give a little context.
Yeah, give a
here,
little
okay?
context.
All right. So
La
going
context.
into going into about midway last year, when everyone was coming back into the studio, and
LaCroix
it
were
was like,
flowing.
hey, we said, hey, let's get some LaCroix as part of the available.
What is
It's like
benefits.
a one-time thing. Like, let's get some champagne for the boys.
The height.
We all
And
got hooked.
and the LaCroix was bought, and then it was drank very quickly, and then more was bought, and then that was drank very quickly, and then it kind of became this thing where people weren't even keeping track of how many cans they were drinking a day. We were finding wounded soldiers around. It was costing.
That hurt me too,
Yeah.
Jake. That
I
hurt
would
me
say
too.
a noteworthy amount of money to provide these refreshments to everybody in studio. You're talking $15 15 plus people in studio any given day, and everyone's drinking a few of those a day, that adds up pretty quick.
Yeah.
And so I don't. So Nico approached me, and he said, "Hey, what's going on with these LaCroix?" And I said,
Wait, wasn't it Sam?
I mean, people are drinking them. Well, see, I'll get there. And then he's like, well, I think we should just, pump the brakes on so much LaCroix. It wasn't even discussed how much or that we were going to ban it or whatever. And then it turns out that it wasn't even Nico's idea. It was Sam's idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Sam had said, listen, I come into the studio, I want my LaCroix, and I go to get it. And I limit myself, 1, 2 a day sometimes if it's a long day. And what's happening is I'm going to the fridge. There's no LaCroix in there. And then worse off even than that, I'm walking around and I'm finding Wounded Soldier LaCroix.
It's not right.
All over the
You're right
studio.
to be upset about that.
Well,
and so he just was said, listen, I don't feel like people are respecting it anymore. And, it's people are consuming it as they would just water for hydration. Which I was one of those people. I was consuming LaCroix for hydration. I'll be honest, because they're so delicious.
No, I was there too. Sorry. Yeah.
And we all got a little carried away.
Not
and
proud
then
of it.
the issue wasn't even that we were going to ban it. We were just not going to buy it for like a week or two. And then all of a sudden the conversation came up. Well, hey, maybe there's a better way we can do this, right? And this is where the paths began to split. Jordan Coleman and I, the actual Jordan in the studio.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Came up with a plan.
I see where we are. Business partners, though. Keep that in mind. Business partners.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're production. It's our job, Jordan. I mean, it's our job to come up with solutions and to provide solutions to the team.
Didn't enjoy
So many
taking this
sketchy
away from
things
you.
have been labeled under the word solutions, by the way, in
Yeah.
history. I'm just saying.
Let's look at the history
I
books a
mean,
bit.
there's a lot.
Do you think that I enjoyed this, Jalen, Nick?
Yes,
I think
actually,
there's
look
a
at the footage.
1,000% chance.
There will be a video release.
So we came up with an idea to provide a ice cold solution to people's LaCroix needs. We said, hey, let's buy a fridge. We'll buy a mini fridge. We'll stick it up there in the main Studio 3. And anytime anybody wants one, they can purchase one for $1. And we will use the money that is accumulated from selling LaCroix to continue to buy more LaCroix. And of course, we're selling them for $1.
Yeah.
Do we make a little bit of money? Yeah, we make a little bit of money. It's a business. What's wrong with capitalism? And then they got all upset and said, no, you're going to charge us all this money. Why can't we have LaCroix? And then it became a rights issue. And then what happened, Jordan? Why don't you inform us? Because this part of the history is a little gray for me. So why don't you go ahead and
I'll tell you what happened, Jake.
Fill in the audience.
The people took control.
As
the
in
people
you.
took control.
You were part of the people, right?
America was founded on rebellion.
You know what's funny? Anytime somebody says the people are taking control, the person who's saying that always has the most to gain, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, that was
As
the
an
beautiful thing about
individual.
our situation. You see, Fenner
Yeah.
and Jonah led our little rebellion in its early stages. They brought in a fridge.
Yep.
They hid the fridge in the bowels of the studio
Just way down in the depths of the prop room.
and filled it to bursting
In the poop
Yeah.
dungeon.
with fresh, ice cold
Yes.
LaCroix for the people at no charge. There was no tally system. There was no padlock on the door. It was come and go.
Right.
Please contribute to build a better
Right.
society.
Yeah.
We would go, we'd take LaCroix. We'd be smiling all the way down there, filling it up for our friends and our family to make a better future, Jake.
Isn't
and it
that
was working
romantic?
so well.
Yeah.
It was working
Isn't
beautifully
that romantic?
Why did
I
you feel
would-
the need to hide it, though?
because
Because if the people knew, some people knew.
mm,
But,
Yeah,
but I
why
was
did
no
you hide it?
longer. I was no longer
Yeah.
purchasing
Look,
it with.
if Jake
with
and
Corridor
Beans
money.
found out about the secret LaCroix,
Jake and Beans,
then it
here
would
we go.
not have gone well. They would have been confiscated, and we would have had to go to the bank.
Why
pull
would
out
we
cash,
have? Why would we have
and buy a
confiscated?
LaCroix? It's like,
Yeah, it wasn't coming from my wallet, which is the Corridor wallet.
why are moonshine operations hidden, Jake? What happens if they get caught?
They were made illegal.
Yeah, it's
made
illegal.
illegal.
We didn't
It
make
sounds
anything
familiar.
illegal.
People can, because if you if you purify alcohol and then sell it to people and it's not done with a license, you do run the risk that you can poison somebody and kill them.
So it's not a perfect metaphor.
No.
He's saying in the context of the
I'm saying in the-
prohibition,
Yes.
that
Look,
was something that happened. The people needed their drinks.
What we had was pure and it was special, and it was a group of people that was growing, and we were bringing people into the fold slowly. We were growing at a mature rate, and we knew that if we got caught, they would be banned. The $1 LaCroix would be back. We would be completely broke. Because
we never even implemented the $1 LaCroix.
I know, we were front running the issue.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I like your romantic perspective on it, but let's get to the facts here. Okay, where did the money come from to purchase the LaCroix? Right, it came from each individual who was involved. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And if one person would have abused that system, what would have happened to your perfect little romantic system there?
We would have had a town hall meeting. And we would have discussed it.
Yeah, nothing. But
you would have
civilized
discussed
conversation.
it. Yeah, we see the beautiful thing. The beautiful
what
thing
would have happened if that person would have not listened?
Then it gets violent, Jake. But we don't have to go there because look, the reality is through evolution, right? Humans have stayed in small tribes. When you're in a small tribe, you know everyone knows you. You know what you're contributing. You know what they're contributing.
Community. Yeah. We're all, listen, Jordan Coleman and I, Beans, listen, Jordan Coleman and I are all about community.
Yes.
That's what we're all about. Mm-hmm. We just also accept that people can be selfish. Yeah. They can be abusive and take advantage of other people.
I agree.
And, you bring in a few very, very basic market factors and all of a sudden, voila, they benefit everybody. Jordan and I were open to giving shares out of J&J's refreshments.
Oh,
J&J's refreshments
interesting.
J&J's refreshments would have made a profit, keeping law and order,
trickle down
so
economy.
That when people purchase that when people purchase a LaCroix, they then do so as part of a transaction, ensuring the security of the provision for all. Right. And then we would have taken that, and anyone who wanted to be a part of it, we would have sold shares. We would have done that.
You were going to go public, huh?
Yeah.
This is the first I've heard.
It's going to be like Bitcoin.
Oh, wow. That's okay.
That's not exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
but
decentralized.
Yeah, not exactly. Yeah. But yeah, that's what we were willing to do.
But this was never spoken to the people. The people were in the dark. The people were scared.
Well, it was never given a chance.
And you're right. Maybe
it was
would have
never
been
given
a
a chance.
utopian society. J&B's refreshments is selling LaCroix for $1. Everything's balanced. But guess what? Society filled in the blanks because there were no
I think you guys were a little
fridge.
rash. In my opinion.
I think you were a little rash in jumping to the conclusion that all of a sudden these things were banned. When exactly were they specifically banned? That's what I would like to know.
Jordan walked in the room and was like, "No more LaCroix."
Yeah,
and
she
then
did
there's
do
a whole
that.
scene.
I
tried to make LaCroix from scratch, Jake. Have you ever seen a man try to blow bubbles into a cup of
You ever
water?
seen a man carbonate water before
is
and
hard,
pressurize
Jake.
So
it?
rough.
Jake, he
can't
begged.
keep
my
the
heart.
bubble.
I was dropping lime extract into a soda stream.
Dude, I
He
was like-
really was doing
I was
that.
trying to skin an apple with my fingernails to get the
No,
essences.
Nick he was just so animalistic and angry at the time. He bit into a lime, opened it up, poured it into water, and then blew bubbles
this really
through a
happen?
straw.
This really happened. He was in a bad
I was scared
spot.
for my
I was in
life.
a
The
bad
people
spot.
don't know how bad it was here. People were tearing each other apart.
Yeah.
It was
No,
awful.
I think it just goes to show that that's why we had to take a step back on the LaCroix, because you guys were,
Right.
I see
Little
how-
out of hand.
there was
I
abuse.
mean, maybe there was,
little-
yeah.
There was abuse. There was certainly a pulling back that was required, or at least maybe we could have done like bread lines or something.
The LaCroix
You know?
were flowing
Lines.
like
For
like
LaCroix, we got our little disbursement of LaCroix.
Well, that's what I thought was going to be implemented. And
I
that was
shouldn't
just,
have to do, because who would be doing that? I would be doing that. I don't want to
Yeah,
do
it's
that
like
every
you
morning.
get one LaCroix on Monday and you have to make it last all week.
The thing that I love about all your solutions,
It's like
Beans,
orange flavor.
is that there's just this assumption that the bread lines will just be there, right? Who makes the bread lines possible? You need an organizing body to organize those bread lines. You need somehow that organized body needs to have law and order. All I'm saying is that the inherent law and order of simply selling a LaCroix for $1 a piece and giving out shares is already existent in this very simple process called supply and demand.
Who will stop price gouging?
I mean, I'll sell them for
You have to
7
trust us.
The shareholders will ensure that price gouging doesn't happen
But this-
because they are also the purchasers.
But this is an amendment to history because there was no talk of shares. This is just noise now. Noise from the corporate machine. And we don't need to listen because
the corporate machine.
You don't need to
La
listen.
Revolution is still out there.
It is.
And how is it going currently? Because just so everyone knows, So we discovered the fridge. Okay, it was in the prop room. It was covered. It was hidden in plain sight.
Beautifully.
It was hiding behind a cardboard box like Osama bin Laden hid behind his wife.
It was very bin Laden.
And it was sitting there. And we brought it out in the open. And there was blood, sweat, and tears. And then we decided that it would be open for all. And that everyone said, you know, it very quickly became this ritualistic, you need to say the same thing as everyone else. There was this phrase going around, I will contribute more than I drink. And everyone had to say it. I will contribute more than I drink. And those who didn't say it were immediately suspected of wrongdoing.
It's just an easy promise.
Where are you getting this revisionist history from? I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, this isn't. Look, the video is going to come out.
Yeah, I did
the
say
video is
that.
going to come out, and you will see the video evidence that what I'm saying happened. Okay?
I did say that.
Oh, you did.
I did say that, and other people said it. But what that is me saying, I will be a good person. And then if you don't want to say that sentence, that is inherently suspicious. Because what happened was...
This is the problem with these types of socialist endeavors, Jordan.
And I agree.
Beans. This is what I'm saying. So anyways, how is it going?
We heard that.
How is it going?
I will say this. Someone tried to sabotage. Someone tried to sabotage La Revolution. Now that the fridge is just on display for everyone, even non-revolution members, someone drank or took all of them. It was a full fridge and someone took all of them. But do you know what we did the next day? We filled it up again.
What'd you do?
We filled it up again. We didn't burn anyone on the stake. We didn't do a manhunt. We let it go. And to this day, there is a steady flow of LaCroix provided by all
How many times are you going to let that slide? How many times are you going to refill that fridge?
How many times you're going to do it, Jordan? Because I know it was
without holding someone accountable. I don't drink LaCroix.
But you steal it.
Stop saying that. When are you going to hold people accountable? Answer that.
Well, look, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, we have a beautiful society.
We are
and it
there.
sounds like the for-profit machine wants in.
They do. They see the demand and they're like, how can we provide this and make a buck off it? Look, I'm sorry you don't like the joy that is carbonated water.
I'm sorry you guys have such
love flat water. It's like, okay, like sure, let us enjoy it though.
Yeah, you know.
I'm sorry that you guys have such a jaded view of what simple supply and demand economics can provide to a community. We're not saying we want to just gouge everybody and run off to the bank laughing all the way home. We're just saying we want to provide something that is inherent law and order and ensures that everyone has an equal opportunity to purchase a LaCroix. That's all.
My biggest,
not so bad.
My biggest issue with it is that, you know, initially this body is what brought LaCroix into this ecosystem that didn't have it before. And we grew to love it and we grew attached. And only then was there a 180-degree turn and a 300% price hike to continue enjoying the life that you've addicted us to.
Obsessed.
So you think it was like a thing that Corridor Digital, like as a drug dealer, introduced?
It's
like a conspiracy theory
on the goods.
To get you hooked on it.
You gave us those free samples.
We brought crack into the studio, and when it got out of hand.
Here's how far I would be willing to go to show you. Once your little communist experiment fails, what I'm willing to do is I'm willing to go in on J&J's Refreshments to no profit to myself. And to accept shareholders. In order to prove to you that it wasn't a conspiracy theory by Corridor Digital to get everyone, addicted. And also that these simple mechanisms that will be in place will be actually really sturdy and really last for a long time.
I believe. Will Jordan make the same promise?
Well, Jordan doesn't
not out
need
to get you.
Yeah,
but to no profit.
Yeah, I don't need money. I don't drink LaCroix.
This is a beautiful conversation we're having because
it's so nice.
Well, can we take profit as a shareholder though? As a shareholder with everyone else?
Would I get
shareholder? All I hear is give me money. I think we should just divide the price of a LaCroix sleeve by the amount of cans. And then pay that much per can so that we break even.
Paying by the system.
We pay for the LaCroix we drink.
Well, what about the electricity? What about the person who goes and gets it? What about the person who makes sure that it's stocked? There's a lot of other factors here you're not paying for.
That's correct. But in the old system, the one that you guys began, None of that
never
was paid for
began
anyway.
it.
And the
Right, but-
LaCroix was not paid for. So
But
what we're
the
doing is we're
corporate-
meeting you in the middle.
The corporation is no longer part of it. This
But
is
you
the
just said J
people's
and J.
now. No. I'm saying, yeah, we need an organization to divide up and make sure that the shares are there. And
Loose
that
language.
the LaCroix lives. But I'm saying Corridor Digital is no longer paying for it, which is the whole problem that you say.
For them.
Yeah. I think the system of paying for the can, for the street value of the can, is the way forward.
Oh, might I say, I did get LaCroix for the fridge last Monday.
The community fridge?
Yeah.
What a gesture.
Wow.
What a
So
gesture.
just think about this though, Jordan. If somebody or Beans, sorry,
No, I mean,
we still haven't come to terms
it's a
on
Freudian
that.
slip
That
every
was a
time,
Jordan
isn't it?
move right there.
Yeah,
I
that
will
was
say.
So if somebody's going out every week, purchasing cans, bringing them to the studio, making sure that they're all lined up by flavor, ice cold, ready to go, and ensuring that, the cost is distributed equally amongst the members, right? We just create a simple membership, and your cost is simply the cost to operate that that privilege, if you will.
Would the fridges be franchisable?
I like that.
That's something that I'd be interested in pursuing.
When I hear franchise, I hear just give me money. That's what I hear.
Well, here's the situation. The fridge
I'm trying
itself,
to do something. I'm trying to do something that's non-profit. Okay?
Yeah, I hear you. The fridge itself was actually paid and provided by Fenner on behalf of the
And
people.
who's paying for the electricity?
Well, that's the thing is that's your half, right? So the fridge has been paid for, the cooling device, the multi-$100 instrument.
Was it a multi-hundred?
Well, that
How
needs
long
to
would
be
it
paid
take?
back to the person who paid for it.
In the form of electricity.
So Jordan and I, Jordan Coleman and I were offering a solution that would pay for that back to the person who provided it and cover the cost of electricity and give money back to shareholders and at least break even.
I think it's something we can bring to perhaps a roundtable discussion at the head of next week. I can speak with the people on our end.
We have a meeting of the leadership.
Speak with the leadership of the party. That would be
Who
great.
is the leader? Is it?
Well, that's the beauty of it. The leadership is just everyone in the DMs.
Is it though?
We're all leaders of this group, Jake. We all speak freely and
listen.
confidently.
Everyone knows. There's like psychological evidence that once you get more than like 6 or 8 people in a room, like they immediately divide into like hierarchy. That's just the way that it is.
I think we're 7 strong.
You did have the limoncello party, and then you had the lemon party.
Yeah,
but
and
yes, tensions did flare. But
and
we all came to a resolution.
I hate to do this here. I am actually Plum Bloom. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot with that, but I am Plum Bloom Party.
Can we?
I'm sorry.
Let's talk about beans. Let's talk about the name beans.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna get angry if we keep talking about this.
Yeah, we need to move on. And beans, I feel like, what is a beans, right? That's what we need to identify.
I almost feel like this is like choosing who's beans, right?
Yeah.
That's too easy.
That's too easy.
It's much more motivating to have beans be a crown of shame.
A crown of shame.
Like you are currently beans.
Like
So we
if
can
you're
pass
passing on that
around.
beans energy and you do something that's kind of beansy.
Yeah, then you're being a
You're
beans.
acting real beanie right now.
You're
so,
beanie.
You know,
Beansy. Being called bean is so much more offensive. Bean. Like I'd rather be plural.
Yeah.
Shut up, bean.
Yeah, like that just
Freaking
hurts my
has
feelings. I like that. I think you're being a bit beans right now. That's a good deterrent to your typical
And if
behavior.
there's more than one being a bean, then you're a string bean.
Oh, if you guys are like,
because it's
doing-
multiple.
Yeah,
I see what you did.
string of beans.
I'm not mad at that. I think that's a nice solution. I think we've come to ahead on a couple of things that have been
We didn't really get far.
brewing. Well,
I was glad. I'm glad to have this discussion. And
Yeah, I
hope
feel
that
better.
I hope that party leadership comes back with a reasonable solution. Though I know it would detriment their specific position in all of this, which
Control.
which is the thing that we're trying to avoid, isn't it? Trying to avoid people's personal gain here. Isn't that what we're trying to avoid?
I would agree, and I think that being reasonable is kind of in our nature, as we've proven through.
Didn't
our
feel
act
reasonable
so
when
far.
we
I
found
think-
a fridge in the basement.
Jake, I
Right,
feel
like
like
hiding a fridge in the basement and
That sounds
covering it up in a
reasonable.
cardboard
hiding
box.
hiding is a strong
reasonable.
word.
You put a box
Jumping
around
immediately
a fridge.
to the conclusion that we were going to be
creative.
without LaCroix forever.
I think that what we did
It's better to be prepared.
It's better to be prepared. And what we did, it reflected the heart of America.
Yeah.
The rebellious spirit, the independent nature that we'll do it for ourselves. We don't need.
Right.
It's true that I am British. It's true that I was born in the UK. But look, I'm
that's
going for
true.
citizenship, so I really need to kind of show show the American spirit here.
And then the other
Brit.
leader of your party, the other leader of your party is from Canada. So I'm confused at like what you guys are trying to.
Look, if I was on Boston Harbor, I would have probably pushed over some tea. Maybe. I don't know.
You're
I would have
both
thrown some tea.
You're both a part of the Commonwealth, aren't you?
Yeah.
No, try going to the frigid lake of Boston
And pushing tea into that.
Yeah, well, it's not a lake.
I might have done it. I don't know.
That's right. It's an ocean. It's an ocean.
But what we're showing is that America really is built upon and founded by immigrants. You know, Fenner is an immigrant. I am an immigrant. And we are showing the American spirit by building something for ourselves. And I thought, I was hoping that might be more respected by you, Jake.
You know, that's a great spin on it. I like that. And, you know, I think that if see, there's a couple things about the whole immigrant thing, right? It's bring the spirit of ambition, right? And bring the ability to adapt and survive and go and be rebellious. That, yes, 100%, right? But there's also a thing called assimilation, right? And also it's part of becoming, as much as you're becoming part of America, America's becoming a part of you, right? And one thing that we do here is we use basic market economics to keep law and order in so many different forms and have been doing it for hundreds of years, you know? And really, that's something that I don't feel like you're considering right now, but I do admire your grit and your rebellious nature. That is admirable, and I do appreciate it. I will say that. Yeah.
So if you really want to be accepted here, what he's saying is maybe do pay for the LaCroix.
Yeah, you got to do things legally, you know, on paper, so things don't come back to haunt you.
Well, trade is not illegal. This was open trade.
No,
it was a secret.
It was a secret. It was a secret.
Yeah.
Is secret trade illegal? Of legal goods?
And nothing is
If
more
I sell
American than also
crack
than
on the
also-
street or inside of a house, is it still legal?
Interesting. You call it crack.
Well,
It's a legal commodity, but we can agree to look. We'll handle this in the meeting. I want all of our brothers and sisters there. We'll unite as one, and we will have that discussion.
Okay.
But I think there's a way
here.
forward.
Whew.
Well, I'm hoping you'll still come over to our side.
Oh yeah.
You don't know our web. You don't know our network.
You don't know
We'll
our
be there.
web of
You don't know how
influence.
deep we go. Okay? Trust me, we have people everywhere.
So as you can see probably by this point, this is a very serious topic for us.
Yeah.
It's been hotly debated, and somehow it seems to touch upon some other more deeper aspects of our society, and so hopefully Daniel can capture that in a Crew Cuts episode with Crew Cuts season 3, because
A lot of raw emotion.
a lot of raw emotion has
It was
been going into
quite
it.
an emotional morning that morning.
Oh, I'm actually going through all of the footage right now. I asked Jonah, I said, is there anything, because I got a Da Vinci license so I can just hone in and like learn it, but I wanted something to actively try to do. I was like, Jonah, what do you have for me? He goes, well, I have the LaCroix story. And man, is this just hilarious rewatching you guys find out that I didn't get LaCroix that Monday.
Oh man.
And you trying to make your own with a straw, and
It was rough.
I love, that's like saying, like the suffering of people is hilarious, but whatever you want.
It's an interesting
I do also find
perspective.
it funny how you're also now, editing the footage for
We
us
need
and
to cut
controlling
it
the
into
narrative.
Oh yeah,
But,
controlling the freaking media, fake news over here.
Look, guys, this whole podcast is us airing out our dirty laundry. So, like,
It really
apologies, but
is.
you're also getting really clued into what's been going on around here.
And you know what?
Apparently, there's some stuff.
You know what's the most
creeping up.
concerning part of all is that at no point in this whole process did we ask what Socrates would do.
That's true.
Yes.
That's
Our holy
true.
sag.
oh,
I know you're playing around. That's the one thing. That's the one thing in this office that has more emotion tied into it, the holy sack, than anything else. Someone
would
played a
beg to
prank
differ.
at the end of Friday where they put a replica of the holy sack, already sacrilegious, might I just say, underneath where the sack rests. And every single one of us that came in saw it on the ground and had a mini panic attack.
No.
It was a disgusting act.
Who did that? Was it Mark?
I think it was Daniel. I think, and the fact that he
His
wasn't
first
even
week
there
back.
to enjoy it, he was gone.
Dude.
So he did that just to make us disgusting.
When that thing finally does fall, it's gonna. I think the studio might fall.
That's
For
what I'm
anyone
saying.
who doesn't know about this, we were throwing around these rubber balls one day, and one of them got stuck to the ceiling. And that was literally like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yes, this is crazy because we had a bunch of these little squishy balls, and they're not sticky by nature.
No.
They're really not. They would get occasionally
stress balls.
Yeah, they'd get they'd leave a little residue of like slight stickiness if you squeezed them too long, too much, you know. But this one in particular, we threw up onto the roof, and it stuck. And we have tried to replicate with a plethora of additional balls. Nothing has even come close. The longest one lasted that was sticky by nature lasted 1 hour. And we are 4 months deep in this holy moment.
Also, it's been the hottest season here in LA. And I swear to God, dude, around my apartment, anything sticky just unsticks when it gets hot.
Yes.
It's just like random shit will just go whoosh and fall on the floor. I'm like, oh God, no, I stuck that up there.
What do you have in your apartment that's sticky? Like it's
so
unsticky?
I had sticky blinds, like blackout curtains that I stuck onto the thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of those
tape or something?
No, I mean it's industrial grade adhesive that like peels off paint if you take it off.
So glue.
Right? Yeah, it's glue.
Industrial
that got
strength
melted.
adhesive.
That fell.
You need a curtain rod, Nick. Very simple.
Rod,
But my
you can
dash cam,
get them at Ross for like $5.
my dash cam that is designed to stick through all sorts of weather fails on almost a daily basis in this heat.
Yeah.
And the holy sack remains, not designed to stick, designed to bless.
And neither are cottage cheese ceilings. Like plaster on the ceiling is not meant
popcorn.
to popcorn.
But there's nothing sharp there to stick to. It couldn't have punctured. There's no explanation in physics that could explain.
Well, it's not a popcorn ceiling. It's like it's a textured ceiling.
A textured like plaster, right?
Yeah.
It's a textured plaster.
Cottage
not
cheese.
popcorn, but the next level away from popcorn towards flat, but definitely not flat. It's textured.
But yeah, it's become a very big deal around here, and is the only thing that I think currently, people feel stronger about than this LaCroix debate. That's how serious the LaCroix debate is.
If you had to choose between the sack and a LaCroix.
The sack, this is not up for debate. The sack is life.
So did you write the 10 sack commandments?
No, that was sent in. That was sent in by a fan.
Sent in?
Yes, and we mounted it. It belonged.
Yep.
It belonged.
Yep.
Who sent in the 10 sack commandments?
I can look it up.
Me.
I can't remember right now, but I can look it up. But yeah,
that's amazing.
He sent that in, and I was like, we will mount this. We will mount this. It will be known.
Things are getting so scary around here.
It's getting culty.
I don't really understand.
No,
what's
getting
going
culty.
on.
It's like progressive. Like every time I look away, there's a new like weird clap chant thing. I think the chants have been off the rails recently.
Yeah,
we've been doing a bit too much of that. I think we should.
Maybe we dial it down a little bit, but the religion stays.
Probably.
Well,
We'll dial the rest back, but the sack.
Maybe don't call it
will
religion.
Yeah, maybe don't use that specific word,
Yeah.
It's like really, it's a
Maybe-
Did I
really
use that
strong word?
You just used it.
Freudian.
Belief platform.
Fine. The choice. The choice to acknowledge.
It's like a
The choice
spiritual
sounds like a
being
cult, bro. Welcome to the choice.
Welcome
It's
to the
your
choice.
choice to be here.
It's like a game show for a
Choose
religion.
correctly.
I wear all white robes. Welcome to the choice.
Welcome to the choice.
We give you one LaCroix when you join us.
Yeah, and it's and it's a game show, and it's hosted by you in white robes, and what it is each level. It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but each level there's 2 choices, and as you pick through the levels, you only have one choice to make per round, and as you pick through, you don't know if the next round is going to be 2 things you don't want, or like.
Good.
One of them is going to be a bad thing, like saddle you with $10,000 of credit card debt, like something like that. And then eventually,
The choice.
the choice. That's what we'll call it.
I like that.
But if you choose the sack, if you choose what the sack would want, it always leads you to the promised land.
Yeah, all is forgiven. All that debt.
Yeah,
Debt.
all that LaCroix debt.
I like it, man. I'm into it. Yeah, it's crazy too because Dean, our in-house skeptic, he doubted the miracle, and so we decided to shoot the sack. This was a disgusting. I'm still upset that we did this.
Because Dean tried to get it off.
Yeah, he said it won't stand if it's shot. He says it will fall.
Yeah, if it doesn't fall, you can shoot me in my sack.
Dude, yeah, and the sacrifice.
True.
What happened?
Ultimate sacrifice.
He did do that.
Well, yeah. So he doubted it and he put his sack on the line, and I do respect that. But again, shouldn't have been doubting in the first place. Yeah. And sure enough, Matt lined up a shot and shot it with this really strong propulsion Nerf gun. It made one heck of an impact, but the sack stood. It makes no sense. We all freaked out and we shot Dean in the sack, and and now he's a believer, and that's a beautiful thing. But we're not doing that anymore.
Only after the week after that, he was stricken by a sickness.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's related, but
it could be. But it could be.
But it could be.
Yeah, Matt had the same thing.
Yeah, that's right.
But he shot it, didn't he?
Yeah.
So think about that. Yeah, I know. The more you think about it, the worse it gets. Seriously, I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to look forward to in Crew Cut Season 3. These are just two little insights into some of the things that'll be coming out. But
not normal around here.
You never know you're in a cult, right? You never really know.
Yeah.
I do
right,
see
and
what you're saying,
every
Nick.
cult leader thinks that they're doing the right thing.
Jared Leto.
And,
right? Isn't he a cult leader?
It's a dangerous
I
place.
heard that. Yeah.
It's
Or maybe
dangerous
he's just in a
place to be
band.
in.
I don't know. Whatever.
It is
a danger. We're on a dangerous path here, but I'm gonna keep walking it because I want to see how long it is. But we probably should start dialing it back.
I don't know
just
how
as long as
I don't know
actual
how we dial
sacrifices
it back.
don't begin.
Yeah, we did sacrifice the hand of a stuffed animal. That was
God, I'm not one to talk.
Yeah, you were part of that.
Yeah, Nick, you were all.
And I was
part
like
of
straight
that.
out of the gate. I'd never participated in any sack. I just really wanted to be a part of it.
It's just a sick excuse to sacrifice things.
I just felt the energy. I needed to be a part of it.
I mean, dude, that LaFontaine thrower had been sitting there on the table. If anyone doesn't know, it's this Luke LaFontaine branded friggin' Bowie knife. I don't know.
I know. I found like
knife.
5 of them with our
throwing
guns.
knife.
Yeah, and it's just
not
been
a Bowie
sitting there.
knife.
Well, I put one next to my desk, and now every time someone walks by, they come, they mess with it, they twirl it.
You're in an office full of dudes. If you put a big throwing knife on your desk,
I don't
and
know
it's
what I
just
was
sitting
thinking.
there.
Yeah.
And then there's also a religious ceremony going on.
Yeah.
Where we need to get the internet back. And there's also
Right.
a stuffed animal.
Yep.
With 2 perfectly good hands.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
He
it
doesn't
only
need
needs
both.
one realistically,
I mean, call me pagan, but
Right.
but a sacrifice was required.
it was required.
And also, like this is also a call to anyone out there who has other good sack puns because we're always looking for more. I feel like we've really scraped the bottom of the barrel at this point, but I'm just eager for more minds on this. So please leave them in the comments. Like,
Oh man, oh man.
yeah,
That is interesting. I'll be interested to see how this fall goes. I don't know if we're gonna make it to the end of the year at this pace.
Yeah.
Oh no. I just
Oh
spilled
no,
water.
Nick!
Oh no.
Nick just
At least it
spilled
wasn't
his
on his
water.
razor.
See, because you were bad mouthing the sack.
Yeah, you did say one
And
thing
then
bad.
you
That's
Nick
crazy.
spilled water all over
no.
himself.
It's totally
Right?
related.
That's crazy.
Here.
Wow.
Nick was
And
bad
then-
mouthing Nick was bad mouthing the sack, and he spilled water all over himself.
Dude, it's so great.
Oh
Wow.
God.
That's
I'm so
brilliant.
sorry for the person who sent these.
So what are you guys on the topic of the fall? What are you guys looking
Yeah.
forward to this fall? Like, let's be real for a second. Is
Like
it just
project-wise,
LaCroix and the sack, or is there more to life than that?
Pumpkin spice
I believe
LaCroix.
that there's more to life.
There's a bit more to life.
Pumpkin
ahead.
spice LaCroix.
Yeah, dude.
Are you talking as far as projects are concerned or just
Anything,
in general?
man. Anything.
I think, to be honest, I'm really excited about this this rated G video that we're doing.
yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
very, very excited about that.
Yes. So
Yeah.
we've been called upon by, as you so affinitively put them, the people,
Mhm.
Jordan Allen,
Mhm.
to do a G-rated version of our rated R things. And I think we finally have the title.
Yeah, we can share it, yeah?
Oh,
Yeah.
share it, please.
Oh my gosh, it's Saw, rated G. It's going to be the best. We're so excited all the possibilities because the Saw movies are repulsive. If you haven't seen them, The deaths in those movies are just so off-putting. And the fact that people thought of that stuff is wild to me.
Right.
We should bring him in for a sacrifice for Socrates at some point. But we like the fun of taking something that is so just baseline horrific and making it rated G is such a fun challenge. And like, go ahead. Question in the back.
Are you guys going to like reshoot these scenes? Or are you going to just take out
this? Yeah, this is going to be all like sim, CG, comp stuff. And
because how do
like,
you, if it already exists?
Well, yeah, one of the ideas, for example, is like, this girl's has to like navigate through all these needles that have been used, I guess, which is already disgusting to find a key. And we're like, what is rated G in the sense that it still is torture, but is kid friendly?
Well, a haystack.
Well, what is literally the most horrific thing that has to do with kids that could hurt you the most? There is a right answer to this.
Ringworm?
No, that's a weird choice.
I mean, not wrong.
It could hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
no, Legos. Stepping on Legos.
Okay.
Horrific, right? So the idea of like replacing all these needles with just loose Lego pieces that they have to navigate through, or
oh man, horrible.
You keep stepping on them.
Like
it's usually the parents that step on the kids' Legos.
And that's the thing.
Say again? Like little feathers tickling your toes.
Little like tickle torture, or there's all sorts of fun ideas that we're playing with right now. But I think just executing that will be very fun.
We've never done something rated G, and everyone always asks us, and it's like, when we think about it, it's like, okay, Deadpool rated G, that's not really going to be that funny in the end, because it's just going to be like maybe a guy flipping around.
Yeah.
But
like
Saw is perfect because it's like
perfect.
And perfect for Halloween. I understand.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not in these crew meetings, guys. I'm just catching up here.
We have a lot of really fun actually crew videos coming up that I'm excited for. A couple of them are Halloween related. Also, we have. I noticed you guys were walking around and there were definitely some traumas under the surface, like,
oh my gosh, I can't wait for
behind
this
your eyes. Like, there would be a smile, but but
it's hiding the truth.
So it was smile to hide the hurt inside.
And Peter noticed too. And he was like, dude, I think I can figure out what these guys' worst nightmares are. And I'll make those nightmares in VR.
Gosh, it's such
the
a
crew
great
members
idea.
can get over their fears because you have to face your fear to conquer it.
People helping people.
Dude, people helping people, using technology to make the workforce happier, to make Corridor crew happier. So we won't, question the sack. And we'll just get so many videos done. And
we're going to force everyone to face their nightmare fears, force them to do it. And
of course,
it'll be
company policy.
And of course, that's, they'll have to do it, and then they'll have to face them, and then everyone will come out the other side. We'll come out the other side better off.
Well, that's just good HR.
So. It's the idea of a VR-based exposure therapy is so great. I can't wait.
I mean,
I can't wait.
Let's see what happens. So I'm excited for that one. And then Ren's cooking up a little classic Ren 360 video.
Ren.
Yeah.
Very like kind of 2016 to 19 Corridor crew vibes.
That thing is scary, by the way, Jake. Holy moly. It goes at the speed of, I don't know, fast.
Dude.
Yeah. It does go that speed.
It's he like took an air off and it was just like the round part and it left like an inch hole inside of that bag. What was it?
No, it's a crossbow. It's a compound crossbow, right? Yeah, it's meant to take out large game. So
I was surprised how accurate it is.
Oh, dude.
With that scope, super accurate.
It is pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah. You can get that. I mean, crossbows are more accurate than compound bows, but also you can get compound bows if you have the right technique. You can get them incredibly accurate at long distances. Like, I'm talking 50, 60, even 70 yards, talking about, hitting something that's the size of say like a paper plate.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, because Ren was saying it shoots like 700 yards?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think it's 70.
We're hoping for like 200 once we get the camera on.
That
bolt,
weight would be obviously.
I don't know if it'll shoot that far with a camera on it.
Yeah, we'll see. That's gonna be part of the process here, but it was pretty cool. Like going to I guess the biggest archery store in LA, and we walk in, it's just like, oh, dude, I want to get a bow now.
Yeah,
like this is cool.
Dude, they're super fun. I got one this summer, and I've been shooting with it in my yard, and it's great, man. And it's very therapeutic. I go out there in the evening when like the sun is setting, and I just put 10, 15 rounds or arrows through, and just kind of reset and move on with your life.
Yeah.
I have a bow up in Washington at my parents' place because they actually have room to shoot it. And me and my bro will do the same thing. We'll just go out and just shoot some arrows. It's really good. You have to kind of zen out for a little bit.
We need a camping trip where we can go shoot arrows.
Oh, that'd be super fun.
It's so weird. I've been not obsessed, but shooting arrows has always been like super duper fascinating to me. But it's always felt like an inaccessible hobby. And I genuinely, hearing you guys say, I just go in the backyard and shoot it.
Yeah.
What am I? It's always felt inaccessible to me. Like I can't legally do that in the backyard.
No,
That's
if you
scary.
have, I mean, all you need is like 20 yards
And a bow and arrow.
Like a hallway.
Yeah, you
We
need
were
a
thinking
hallway.
we were shooting in
What
here.
if we did it
That
down
was
that
so cool.
hallway and we just, put like people in every end of there, tell stress level 0,
That'll go
don't walk
well.
out your door.
Do not walk out.
Sorry, guys. Bows.
It's the
From
perfect
5:30 to
hallway.
6.
Well, we
Active
used to
bow
do
area.
that in that
Yeah, we
hallway
used
when
to.
we shot node videos. We would shoot arrows in there all the time.
Yeah, man. This whole
We
place
would
is
shoot them in
range.
Studio 3.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. And
It
you
was
have
like the Smash, the 2015 equivalent to the Smash break was the arrow bow and arrow break.
Nico was telling me, you guys have the indoor archery sets.
Yeah.
How
I mean, we can bring
can
that
we do
back.
this? Can we bring this back? I
We
would
could totally
love
bring
it.
that back.
Me versus Beans
Not with
for the
compounds,
name of
not
Beans.
inside the studio with compounds. It'd be too much power.
Yeah, recurves
But
are-
with just a basic recurve inside the studio, it's the perfect distance for that.
He was.
No way.
Oh yeah, I saw him
That
grabbing
makes
his
sense.
arrows.
It
that's
does
so
feel
fun.
good to have some
Really?
bows back in the studio
That's
again.
hilarious.
You know?
Yeah. That was
And to
fun,
hear
man.
that thwap,
Yeah.
you know, thwap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. It makes you feel real good when that arrow
Mm.
flaps onto the target. You're
Well,
like,
and that's
oh, yeah.
Nest right
Wappy,
there.
dude.
That's Nest's costume.
mm,
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
Mm.
Yeah, there's you're right though. There's so many fun videos coming up that are just all such a hoot to do.
so many. What else? What else do we got cooking up
Well,
here?
we've got the Accident Man VFX
Oh yeah.
one. That was cool.
Mhm.
That's
That's
we're gonna
been-
talk about that too.
Tell
I
me-
never
yeah,
know.
tell
I'm like
me
I
about
always want to be
that.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So
Is
that has an
fun?
interesting story. Nico can speak more articulately to the particulars of it, but we were asked to do a single effect for the Accident Man 2 movie with Scott Adkins, which drops next weekend. So we're going to release the video where we did the effect. But then this interesting thing happened where the person involved in the person that was on camera for the shot.
Oh wait.
yeah.
Yeah,
No
you-
names. No names.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not,
I don't know
I'm
that
not
Jake
saying a
knows
name.
the name. Yeah.
I'm not saying a name.
Cool.
Can I not? I'm just
Oh yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Christian said you're good.
okay. So anyway, yeah, that person was convicted of a heinous crime, and they were like, "Hey guys, we got to figure this out because this person's in the movie, and we don't know what to do because we didn't obviously see this coming." So the thing was kind of put on ice for a while while they figured it out, and then they got all that squared away, and and they said, "Okay, this is good to go. You guys can put this out there." But so it's just an interesting insight into working on something that was like, sort of a privilege to work on. And Jordan,
Mhm.
obviously we worked on it hands on, but it was an interesting insight into having the privilege to work on something. And then also seeing, like, hey, in the real world and things, sometimes you get hit out of left field with something, and
That was very left
that's
field. Yeah.
that's how it goes. But the effect itself that you did for that is so cool, and the
Yeah,
shot and the way that it came together is just it's so good.
Yeah, and it's a sim that I've never done before, and the idea of it was, I mean, basically the concept is that it's we're sure I'm good to talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay,
you'll be
I just
fine.
want to be super safe there, but yeah, I mean, the idea is that the skewer goes through the back of a head and pushes out an eyeball.
Yeah,
And it's such a cool concept of like something that you can do with visual effects. And
Mhm.
like the minute that Nico mentioned that shot was like one of the ones that we were going to tackle for this film, I was just crossing my fingers that he'd look in my direction. Thankfully he did. And I was like, yes, dude. So it's like
it turned out awesome,
a fun
man.
exploration into that side of things. So that's a really fun video. And obviously we've got yours coming up, Jake. The Spider-Man.
yeah.
Oh yeah. We
Well,
didn't
yeah,
by
talk
the
about
time
that.
this will come out Monday, so that video. So
It's already
if you
out.
haven't seen it already, we're doing a video. We did a video where I sought to do the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man tray catch where he catches Mary Jane and then he catches all the items on the tray in the lunchroom of the high school. We sought to do that shot in camera verbatim to the way that they shot it in the film. And apparently it took the film 156 takes.
Do you want to say how many it took, or do they need to watch the video?
I don't want to say how many it took. I want you to go watch it.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a blast. And when we did finally get it,
yeah.
Oh man,
yeah, it was a high for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we're just high in general, just from the sticky glue. So
all the sticky glue.
Oh my God.
Right.
I have never felt more beautiful.
Really fun though.
I felt stunning.
Yeah.
I felt like
maybe
all
that's
eyes...
how we decide who gets beans. Who looks better in that wig?
Well, that feels just like the freaking Smash Brothers setup. Like I'm gonna dominate that one.
Okay. Well,
so we should probably find something else.
We'll let the people decide.
You look at my hairline and tell me you look better. Look at my hairline in that wig and you tell me you look better.
That video was fun because it was such a real collaborative effort. Like with everyone. Jake had to be on point, and then all of us dropping everything.
Everybody had to be. It was everyone had a job to do. It was great.
And then I taught Jalen how to walk like a woman.
How to do?
Yes.
Yeah. I should have talked to Matt.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to do that when you're not a woman.
Hit me up. It's those
it's
Scottish
gonna
roots, man. Those hairy Scottish roots.
Yeah, there's so much good stuff.
Yeah, so it was a good time. And I'm super excited for all these little videos and all the little bits and pieces of ideas now starting to get life again after the Son of a Dungeon takeover and the Punch for Punch takeover of our entire studio for a year.
Yeah.
Now we can start to breathe a little bit of life back into some of these ideas. I'm writing Wizard Cops.
Nice.
Along with Nico and Sam and I had another writing session today, and it's starting to land on paper now. It's starting to come together. So.
Is that an episodic or is that like a one-off?
Right? I know.
Yeah, it'll probably be multiple episodes, but we're gonna take them one episode at a time.
Yeah.
And because it is non-narrative, it's just situational comedy. So each one kind of has like a theme, and there's sort of like little tie-ins between like what they do in one scene to what they do in the next, but it's not like a narrative where you need to drop it all at once. So we just kind of want to continually write it and work on it and deliver it until we feel like it's out there,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
but
fair.
I don't think the idea of like spending a specific chunk of time to just go, okay, let's do 5 episodes and then drop these 5 and then we'll move on to these other projects. I think it's just always going to be something that's going. And we'll just continue because it's so accessible in terms of how you shoot it.
Right.
So accessible. You just need a little bit of production, some wardrobe, a cop car, 2 cameras with lights mounted on them.
A couple beards.
Yeah.
And a couple beards and lavs even. And that's it.
Yeah, because Sode being done is going to be a crazy shift for sure.
How many more shots do you have
What
to
are we gonna do
do?
with all that time?
We're on episode 9 right now, which is the last episode.
Oh, you're on episode 9?
Yeah, so we don't have any notes on 8 just yet. But we're at the point now where there's only one shot left on 8 that we need to do some work on, but we're pushing into 9 now and just trying to get like as far ahead as humanly possible before any notes come down. But I think when that show's done and like Punch for Punch being done, having the whole team accessible to like work as a single unit to create things faster is going to be so fun. I'm really looking forward to that for sure. And I do wonder, like on the website with the green lighting, I know we've talked about this a little bit, but like smaller scale single conceptual ideas like being put up for green lighting might be kind of nice. Obviously with the massive undertaking of like Local Zero and Son of a Dungeon.
Yeah, I think
stuff like
that's what we're gonna do. We're already finalizing some of the we want to do like runoff style green light ideas where it's like, hey, this is an idea, they're one-off videos, whichever one gets the most points we'll make. And then you sort of have a bin of things that go head to head. It just makes it more interactive. There's more of an immediate gratification to it, and it's great to do the long form stuff too, but when they're all things that take a year, it's like seeing the other side of what you put your points into we don't want it to feel like you're waiting the whole time. We want to have a balance of both. So that's something that's definitely on the list to spin up as we get into the end of the year.
Yeah. No, all good things though. All very exciting stuff.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, listen, I don't know if we solved all the problems here about the LaCroix, but we'll come back to it. Yeah, I feel hopeful.
Yeah, it feels totally good to talk. And
I'm
I
down
feel
with
hopeful
whatever,
about where this can go.
I'm still also unclear on like where the bean scale is like resting right now.
I think
is
now
it's a crown of shame. It's a crown of shame.
Yeah.
I hope, Jake, that I somewhat eloquently described our position and that you no longer see me as beans. Perhaps you might support creating a beans crown that can be transitioned between Jordan and I.
We'll 3D print one, okay?
Yeah. And perhaps we might have to earn that,
you know what? You might have moved up from beans to jeans.
Jeans.
That is a huge step north.
I mean, jeans is kind of a cool nickname.
Anything is really a huge jeans.
Jake, I've been wearing jeans for like 5 years. You don't give me the name jeans.
Matt,
I don't get a nickname now.
Okay. No, your name doesn't start with a J.
Yeah.
But I wear the. Never mind.
You're not the jeans guy anymore. Sorry, pal.
You never noticed all my jeans, Jake?
You don't. You wear these. You wear those like khaki, like the things you're wearing right now. Those aren't even. Are those jeans?
You barely wear
qualify
jeans,
as
Nick.
jeans. They're more like a leisure pant.
Now. Now I just wear sweatpants.
Changed as soon
I know that jeans aren't on the fucking menu for
those
me.
are like a leisure pant, Nick.
Oh man!
All right, I'm gonna play us out. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. We hope you're having a great day and looking forward to all the things that we're going to make here and put out there this fall. So,
yeah, brother.
It was really nice of people to listen to our ramblings for an hour.
That was legit a ramble.
Yeah. We're just like in the old folk home. Going,
I couldn't
Literally
keep
just
up.
old folks.
Pray to the sack.
Grandpa, shut up.
I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Again, sack puns in the comments, guys.
Love it.
Please,
Sack puns,
please.
Yeah.
I will use all of them.
I'm trying to think of some right now.
It's hard, right?
Dude,
We've really kind of sack it to him.
Sack it to him.
this is where you fade out, Christian.
Devastating. Get us out of here.
Bye.